Hello? Genshin. More. Now. So, what? I did an event off stream, the Vibro Crystal thing, because it's just battling, and there's literally nothing special about it in terms of story. It's literally a redo of a previous event that I think I actually streamed. And the story is, hey, last time you did this, that guy was doing it illegally as a study. I'm here to do it officially, and I need your help to do the exact same thing. And that's it. So, fungus mechanics. This is probably a multi-day thing, and it seems to be a sequel to the Pokemon event, where you use your mushroom buddies and send them in to do attacks. But we're going to do Dia's story today. But before any of that, sorry, I'm adjusting some volume on my end. Before any of that, Dia just left the game in terms of banners, and Xinhua and Ayaka are here. Whoa, no. We're just going to throw one wish at both. I haven't done it yet. Here we go. Nope. Okay, and Ayaka, which I wouldn't mind getting. I really wouldn't. Nope. I could get her if I really wanted, but my priority right now is next time Raiden comes along, just to get her 2 more times to get her to C2. And, maybe even go for her fucking weapon at some point. But not this one, obviously, because Raiden uses a polearm. Just to make her more broken than she already is in my team. But yeah, we're gonna do Dia's story, which is not the fecundity. Shade upon Red Silk. Which I believe we started this quest on accident on the stream, maybe? And it's inside the academia. I'm just going to go in. We're going to do it. I'm looking forward to her story. I know there's a hangout event for what's-her-face? The new, one of the new anime bow user, 4-star. But unfortunately, Tainari is in that event, apparently, and I'm actually going to wait until they replace the voice actor before doing it. And they re-record those lines. Once I have confirmation of that, I will do that hangout. But there's no rush. That's not going anywhere. It's not taking up a quest space or anything like that. Oh, Grand Bazaar. That's even more out of the way. Okay. Let's go Dia story. Farazun, yeah, her.
Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list?
Okay. Tell me if it sounds okay.
Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go get some.
Just, yeah, I just turned the game up, or the game audio up. I want to just know if it's a little better than usual, because every time I go back and listen, the game is super quiet, even though it shows not so much on my end. So it's kind of getting into the yellow for me. And that's, I guess, maybe that's good. That wasn't on our list, was it?
We can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expecting to see you here.
I wasn't expecting to see you here either, wink.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
Huh, so you two are still hanging out together. Yeah, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
You're still together? Huh?
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard, not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends.
Friends.
The Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so me and the other mercs never pass them up.
I told Dia to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago.
They were roommates.
My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dia wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dia. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
What? She said they'll treat you to the best dishes! I can't believe you can still refuse that!
But wait. Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today, when you leave?
Oh, the trip to the desert. That web event where they actually do this.
There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
It's just them walking, and you get some primos for watching them walk for 5 minutes.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like I feel like something is off about you lately.
It feels like something is off about you, like you need to be buffed or something. It's weird.
Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid.
Even Dunyarzad knows something's wrong. She should be stronger.
Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Nah.
Did you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
Oh, looks like Dunyarzad was onto something.
You're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
Dog eat dog is right, because whenever you see Diaz,
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
The what? Let's see here. Give me a second. Oh, I don't... I know I posted it in Discord. Was it in shitpost a while back? I think it was shitpost a while back. It was a while back, though. It was when she was, like, announced. It wasn't even when she was in the game. It was, like, a leak of her character design. I don't know if I saved it anywhere. Or if I was like, oh, it's just a Discord, I'll find it. I'm scrolling past a lot of other shitposts, so... Where is it? Any second now. What? Oh, my god. Not that one. Damn it. Boy, I'm back in like July of last year. Was it back that far?
I thought it was in the gaming channel, not the shit post.
Beginning?
I thought it was. Oh, yep, I found yeah, it is in the gaming chat.
Oh, it's in the gaming chat.
Yeah, it is.
What date?
It is July 29th.
2022?
Yeah.
July oh, there it is. July. There we go. Right, yeah. Basically. Basically that.
Affectionate. Affectionate.
Yes. Then there's this image here, which I do have on hand. All right, back to the game. Getting distracted,
Derailed.
derailed by Dia, derailed.
My lady,
My lady.
you're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion.
Dude yelling behind her. I got hot peppers on a stick here. Hot pepper. Hey, you little lady, would you like a hot pepper on a stick?
Okay,
Oh, where
let's
you going?
talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Deshret's relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
King Deshret.
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Yeah, but did we, like, clear it up? Like, what he's all about?
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dakan al-Akmar.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years. Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Uh-oh, family drama.
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Jeez.
Hundreds?
So have I. And if you really think about it, possibly thousands by this point.
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them.
Yeah.
Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
I will say that there's a lot of treasure hoarders and Fatui members and human people that are part of, at least clothing-wise, part of organizations that I walk up to and it's burst first, ask question later. Like, I will have order and drop a meteor on some dudes who maybe just cosplaying as a treasure hoarder and they're just dead. There's a pillar of stone left behind and they just crumble.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
Not to mention all the implications of me and the thousands of hilichurls I've killed. with recent realizations about what hilichurls are. And still, I have to remind that Lumine or Aether, the Traveler, their level up materials require hilichurl parts. You have to kill them in order to get them leveled up. It's required if you want the Traveler to be any sort of strong.
I don't know how Deshret's relic sees it. All I do know is that Dakana
Quick.
Akmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years. If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target.
Do I get to try Dia during this?
Yes.
Okay, I'm actually going to put together a party that might make her good. I'm going to build a party specifically for her in order to make her good.
I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women. Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
What was she even there?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
Figures.
I'm sorry, Dia. I didn't know.
This never came up? You seem like good friends. You wouldn't know about her dad and mom, I guess? I guess it never came up?
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person.
Ooh. Okay. Sorry, reading the text, every once in a while I'm reading the text, and right below encounters I see the thigh squish on one of the belts on her legs. Not my fault. Not my fault my eyes are there. I'm just reading.
He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Boring. Let's rescue a dragon as a princess.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull. He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play. Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords.
Trying to get you in on his interests.
It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
What an interesting guy.
It sounds like he had all... But it doesn't sound like he had all bad intentions.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish, but that was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him. Until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even openly boast about them. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me.
You just want to find out why they suddenly started causing so much more trouble.
Yeah, I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
I'll go back to the desert with Dia.
Huh? But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess, too.
Oh, you know every time I get involved, things get solved.
Well, she's super tough, so if she went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem will be solved in no time.
Like I said.
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took her along to help.
You can count on me.
I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay safe.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady. All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
Let's see here. Lion's blood. See the team here. Let's just adjust this party. So Yelan.
I won't hold you back. Much.
Binot.
Sure.
Probably good.
May knowledge guide you.
Oh boy. Yeah, okay. This party's gonna fucking make Dia look good, even. If I get her on top of the 4, then yeah, things are gonna get cray-cray. It's gonna be like vaporize, vaporize, vaporize. Alright, where are we going? Oh yeah, Caravan Rebot. Rebot. Ribbit.
Hey, Dia, you're back. Are these two friends of yours?
Best friends. It's a pleasure to meet you. I trust Dia with my life.
Oh? So you've already become like one of us, then? Well, that's good to know. Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, let me fill you in on what the Khan al-Ahmar's been up to lately. They've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. And it sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
Wow.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or turn to merchants on the black market. A portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
That's terrible.
Sounds like they just like doing that shit.
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for Mora. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct trade with them. We were able to learn a few things from the exchange. Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experiencing an internal power struggle.
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other brigades of Deshret's relics. If their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. It seems they're also trying to keep things under wraps. Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as the Khan al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
And we're able to cause so much damage? That somehow makes things even more confusing. To the point where I can't speak.
It sounds mighty strange to me, too. Haroon, you can leave the rest of the investigation to us. Gotta say, though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover mission during the few days I was gone. Sounds like you were really putting your necks on the line, no?
Nah, it was nothing. We're just as concerned about the situation as you are. The Khan al-Ahmar is your father's crew, after all.
What he said. Besides, Dia, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined? What we did is nothing compared to your experiences.
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Khan al-Ahmar, I took a look at the last camp they attacked. Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf. You're here too.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Ribat. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing a special vibe from her.
Green?
Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you, we can also rest easy.
Hey, what about Paimon? Feel anything special?
Oh, I didn't even see you.
Oh, you're also planning to tag along with them?
Of course! Paimon is the traveler's most important guide. Wherever she goes, Paimon will follow.
Oh. In that case, then you'd better take care of her too, Dia.
Don't underestimate Paimon!
Alright, Paimon. Let's give you a weapon.
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as many battles as the traveler here. Even if she had only survived on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her quite formidable.
What if Paimon got in the game and she was the only 3-star character?
That would be so horrible.
She's the 3-star and she's the only one in the game.
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge by appearances.
Oh, one other thing, Dia. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule?
Actually, that makes me think, like, what if they had 3-star characters, but they weren't party members, they were, like, assist characters? Like, they could have a whole new class of character just for, like, a separate button, like an assist button. And you could have one per party. I don't know. Ideas.
We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Main. You weren't around at the time, so people were pretty disappointed to only find our crew of rough, unkempt guys.
How dare you make her a 3-star? I don't think she's a 6-star. How about this? She's a 3-star, but in the 3-star class, there's different color stars, and she'd be like a gold 3-star. And there's like bronze, silver, and gold 3-star characters. Depending on how good they are. I don't know.
The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing.
Just
Only
say what
a few
Paimon was
people
saying.
chose to stay, and that really got to him.
Paimon's a 6-star character. Yeah, when she's the in-game big bad. Not like that's gonna happen or anything. It's not like she's some offshoot personality of the god we encountered or some shit. Who knows?
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry and I couldn't make it back in time for the event.
Or maybe she's like the remnants of a banished god from this world that nobody remembers because it was wiped from memory, just like Scaramouche and Rukkhadevata.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. You're our brigade's main selling point, after all.
I'm getting attached to Paimon, so I don't want her to be evil. Yeah, same.
Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members into our ranks.
Excuse me?
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch of scarecrows.
Yeah, keep them in the brigade and get the scarecrows out.
The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that, they both told me they were too uncomfortable to stick around.
You guys suck.
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Do you not know how to act around women?
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never heard about this?
I think they should know. I think they should know that they're that awkward and that maybe they should try to work on how they act around women and not be so weird.
I don't think you were part of the brigade yet.
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that and you weren't even gonna tell me?
All right. We can tell you about it later. Now's not the time.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
They always like this?
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them to a fight.
Easy peasy.
But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up is better than keeping everything bottled up, never talking about it. That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. It's hard to stop once you get used to it. Though, I can never do that when I'm with the Homayanis. Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, you hear her, Holloff? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. I drew up a map. Right here is the spot. There you'll find the merchant caravan responsible for getting rid of Dakan al-Akhmar's looted goods. All you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea what hit them.
I don't like that this dude's taller than Dia.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone else in the brigade as well.
Or that Dia is shorter than all these guys.
Will do. You stay safe, Dia.
She has big gal energy. And these cowards at MiHoYo won't make a tall character that's as tall as the guys. You got Yelan right here, right? That's like up to right there on the little hanging thing, and then you hit switch to Zhongli. Wait. Oh, I'm too close to the thing. Wow. Can't make a tall character, huh? Let's see. We need a gal as big as Ito. Yes. Just give us an Oni lady. I'd love it. Big buff Oni lady. Also, hey,
Should be the
Leaps.
place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time. It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another, so let's all be careful.
No need to worry. She knows her way around a fight.
Did you not... We did stuff together, right? Do you know what I can do?
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on the enemy. After all, we still need to get information out of them.
So don't drop a meteor on them. I will make no promises.
Here they come. You ready?
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's not give them a chance to react and end this quickly.
Well, here we go. Sup, fellas?
Rain cutter. Game's up. Fun's over.
You want this?
Get out of here.
I'll be back.
Ugh. What?
You're the Flame Mane.
I didn't even have enough time to get her burst.
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dakan al-Akhmar now? Tell me, what are they after?
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I'd talk?
I don't know. You have 10 fingers? You get 10 chances.
That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work?
Oh.
Tools like, I don't know, your limbs or eyes?
She went exactly in the direction I went.
You've got 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
Whoa!
I like her style. It's alright, Paimon. She knows what she's doing.
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way. 2 seconds.
I'll save you the trouble.
What? Cyanide pill?
Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies.
With Dia's emergency treatment, the bleeding in Satyr's mouth is brought under control.
Definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
But why would he be so extreme?
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but maybe it's not a good idea to interrogate him any further. What should we do?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. He might just hurt himself again if we start asking. There are lots of goods around here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something. I'm really sorry.
Star is not gravely injured and will probably wake up soon. Should be okay to leave him here for a little while. Just keep him warm. What I wanted to do was get Nahida in the party. Real quick.
Everyone hold hands. ...
Okay. Examine box. There's some weapons in the boxes, as well as a bunch of medicine and bandages. Seems like Dakan al-Akmar is really up to no good. Medicine. An evil is going on here. There are a lot of daily necessities like food and water in the boxes. It doesn't seem like there's anything noteworthy. Food, water, and medicine? How despicable. Backpack? Books.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
The root of all evil. Words.
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakan al-Akmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti.
Okay.
All familiar names. Dakan al-Akmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well. This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakan al-Akmar.
Okay.
Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
Because they stole it?
No value?
Yeah. Every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered.
Maybe the more amounts just happened to cancel each other out?
Perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margins at all? Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. There are a lot of entries. Everything was probably sourced from the rainforest. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazaman Homayani?
I don't know this name.
Homayani? You mean Dunyarzad's family?
Oh.
Could it just be another family with the same last name?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shahzaman Homayani is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of the Homayani family.
Uh-oh.
Just what the heck is going on here?
Calm down, Dia. Let's analyze the situation first.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'll consider what we found and not jump to conclusions just yet. But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani family has been providing goods to Dakan al-Akmar.
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark and don't know they've been trading with Dakan al-Akmar?
That's a possibility, but if that was the case, why is this caravan specifically named Shahzaman as their person of contact? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Ribat or Port Ormos.
Shahzaman was actually aware of this. Perhaps he's been supplying the brigade's operations this entire time.
Yeah, funding violence and looting. The brigade gets the goods, and he is paid the proceeds from the sale of the loot.
But why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homayanis are in need of money.
I honestly have no idea. I've been to their estate many times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious. The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzad's Elazar. Maybe they borrowed a lot of Mora in the past? But that's still just a speculation. I don't think the Master would stoop so low to make Mora.
I don't think Dunyarzad knows about any of this. I don't think Dunyarzad knows anything about this either.
You're probably right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something like this from us.
But what should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
We want to get to the bottom of this. We won't be able to turn back.
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homayanis. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support. If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dakan al-Akmar.
Dia, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
I've considered that possibility, but even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. True friendship is built on trust. She showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion. That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
I hope we'll be able to help her.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
You had like a Marvel crossover in your D&D session? I just reached adventure rank 59. Not quite to the funny number. 60 is max level in this game. Each level at this point is basically double what the previous 58 levels were. So we're almost to max level if you think about it. Not really, though. Let me, hey, we're going to Sumeru City anyway.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Adventure rank rewards. So, oh, I don't get... I get normal wish and 2 fragile resin. Wow. Thanks. And this is what you get for max level: 3 wishes, 2 fragile resins. Literally the same thing as the previous level, except 150 primo gems. This is sad. After I think level 40 was the level 55 was the last thing that mattered. It was the last thing that changed the world level and everything. 56 to 59 or 56 to 60, it's literally nothing. It's just for people who play the game too much. That being said, we have a free wish. Might as well do it. Wow, a bow!
We're back, my lady.
Okay.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
Actually, we're still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
I see. The clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
Something like that. Yeah.
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been very encouraging after all. Why don't you discuss it with me? Maybe I'll be able to say something to cheer you up?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being upset with my father or anything like that. How should I put this?
So something is wrong. Even the Traveler and Paimon have been uncharacteristically quiet. On any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, "Dunyarzad, we're back!" So tell me, what happened?
Well?
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
The Master? You mean my father? Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll listen as attentively as I can.
Dia manages to explain the results of the investigation to Dunyarzad.
My father has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
That feels unlikely, though.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while. In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get lost. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dia?
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts. Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards. He offered me a pile of Mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe someone recommended us. I've never given it too much thought. I think I get what you're saying. You'd think none of this was a coincidence.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with Dakan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dia into our house.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dia to be your bodyguard?
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
So, the Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
That's what things are looking like at this point.
Sorry we put all this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
More like back to prison. You fund the violence, you are the violence.
But is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homayani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homayani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Tia.
It's alright, Dia. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
I mean, you kind of are.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was that thing about friendship again?
What was that thing about friendship again? True friendship is built on trust.
Right, yeah, trust! You said that yourself, Dia. Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts.
If your trust hasn't been misplaced, then he probably has many conflicting feelings as well.
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should always remember the trust that I've placed in people. In which case, my lady, could you ask the Master to come out and have a chat with us?
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
Usual place? Ah, right.
The bench! It's like the Naruto swing. Oh, because we were in a cutscene, it didn't recharge in time.
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two. This is the Traveler, and next to her is her travel companion, Paimon.
Ah, yes, my daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's something on this record that we're all pretty curious about.
He explains the issue to Shazamon and admits her doubts about him.
That's what you found. Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, Dia, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
Wait, me?
Yes. I understand perfectly why you came to see me, and I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing. But knowledge always comes at a price, and sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusela, and I both believed that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you. The facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand, blowing in the wind. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow. I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support.
Or so she thinks.
I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him. I came here today to support you as the head of the Homayani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story.
It's a story about a princess and a dragon, and a warrior that rescues the princess from the dragon. You haven't heard this before, have you? Let me get a bunch of people to put on a play for you. It's a warrior, a princess, and a dragon. No, I've heard this before.
Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, a group of passerby Eremites lent us their support. Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dekan al-Ahmar. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dekan al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites? Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Really? I never knew.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was a devoted father. To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time, and offered everyone generous remuneration.
So, that's what happened.
Well, that should be like the start of it until you find out that what you're funding.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own. At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house. But he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named Dia.
So he was the one who recommended Dia to you.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life. If Dia could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease, and she'd be able to leave her previous life behind.
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dia as my own daughter. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took. Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that, acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dia's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but he'd always send me funds anyway. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago. The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Wait! Isn't that around the time that Dekan al-Ahmar started becoming more aggressive?
Yep. Okay, so first of all, his dad got Dia to be a bodyguard. The dad got Dia to be a bodyguard for Dunyarzad, because they didn't want Dia to be, I guess, influenced by the bad bandit group. But her blazing beasts or whatever appears to be not bad still. One of the good ones, so she says. So it seems like that was just not needed. Other than getting these two girls to know each other.
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things. But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dia at risk.
But by that same token, he should have also stopped asking you for materials.
That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had nobody else to turn to. After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry.
Okay.
I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made me feel least guilty about myself.
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
Oh no. Dia, please don't feel that way.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions.
Maybe there's another way of looking at all this. Can you try to believe in him just one more time? Oh, I don't want to say that.
Another way? I don't know. I knew him, and he was nothing more than a childish brute. I can't understand what's going through his head. But I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need to figure out his exact actions and reasoning for these last few years.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him alone. I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some goods, I tried my best to avoid getting involved any further with him. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dakan al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusela's whereabouts.
So he's their weapons dealer. Okay.
I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern. Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
You see those highlighted words?
Understood. Thank you, sir. Then I guess this is bye for now, unless...
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything quite yet. My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem. I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the Corps of 30 and let them render judgment.
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
So he wasn't supplying weapons, food and water, medicine. It's tricky. It's a gray area. Oh, I can't cancel this midway through. Nighttime is right now, and I set it to fucking sunrise. Does this count? No. I'll sit here and wait for 2 days. Yeah, nothing malicious about his actions, more just... pity? Confusion? Okay, I had a feeling when this guy was disappearing, right when I was about to... Hello, sir.
Huh? Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to, Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps? Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Shh. Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private.
Mm-hmm.
This place should do. All right. Back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait. There's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I waited in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick Mora.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dakan al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of Mora from my last run. You just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
Okay, 500 billion Mora.
Shut it.
That's how much I would let it go for. 500 billion.
My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later.
I mean, that could fund, like, a couple cities.
They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you, though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
Now that's more like it. Let's move.
Shouldn't somebody stay to watch over them?
And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.
Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, I guess we'll see about that.
I see.
Just my luck. How did I get caught by her of all people?
Okay. To the desert! Where we go? To the Dune, Yarzad.
Seems like we're in luck. That should be their camp right up ahead. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Tia, why are you here?
Stabilize!
Gotcha.
Oh, there's a long cooldown on her fucking skill. She's trying to build up her burst. Oh, you can get... Okay. Shooba dooby 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 dooby.
Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
Come on. Man, she is not charging her fucking burst at all.
Time to... Quietly now.
Order guide you.
Whoops. Okay, that's fine. That second one doesn't give her... Oh, she just takes damage in her own field? Oh wait, there's some, like, bloom on her. Because of this guy. You don't get elemental energy from the second hit. Okay, there we go.
Busted.
Damn it. I didn't even get a chance to use her burst.
No, she's so strong.
She's so strong. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. The problem is, I couldn't even get her burst charged before everybody was dead.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far.
Either her burst takes way too much energy, or she doesn't have enough particle generation.
Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding him anymore.
Or she's got some shit artifacts on her trial character.
Did you understand a single word I just said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
It's both. Jesus Christ.
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down for a second.
I need like 20 people to get her shit charged up, it seems like.
Dia, the boss can't come out and see you anymore.
Because...
He died a long time ago.
So you've been using her father's name?
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Akmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
So that's why they turned on each other. It was all motivated by revenge.
Let me start from the beginning. Dia, do you know how the head of the Relics maintained order internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it a person's record. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's Relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters. Whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the records served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail.
So you mean Kusela thought there was no escaping the records?
That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dia and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dia, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's Relics who didn't know about it.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it took.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So, even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since the Khan al-Ahmar would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me, but that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of Khan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end.
Deshret's relics haven't been the only victims of your revenge.
There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies, from food and medicine to weaponry and explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies.
Bro, Mika is rated S tier support. Wait, seriously? Hang on, what? Wow. Oh, it's at C6. What does he get? C0? A. That's still not bad for a 4-star. Huh. Poor Dia. B is B support, B sub DPS, and C DPS. Ugh. Ugh. Bad.
We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Just let me and Dia do it.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
Responding to violence with more violence will only cause more pain. Do you have any idea the amount of damage you've done?
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world. We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low. We have no right to even imagine such an existence. But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, we want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dia. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dia? You want to go with them?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil. All I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed.
Fair. Let's go into it.
Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there.
After years?
I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
I'm on your side, Dia. Oh, I made a promise to Dunyarzad to support you. I'm on your side, Dia.
Yeah. Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
No, let's go home. You're good.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Also, that middle model, I think, is it a new model? I don't know if I've seen it before.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
I want to get her into a situation where she can use her burst. And I can test her damage with this team.
Solidify!
Quietly now.
That's pretty far away. Um... 50... Oh! Well, that sucks. I was like, how do you get up there? Am I barely gonna get there in time? Oh. Cruel.
Unsolicited. And all the more.
Gather!
No, my sword! Let's light it up! Gotcha!
I'm sorry, why couldn't I pick this up? Artifact inventory. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah, Jackie. $186,000 more. What were you saying? Osmit. Oop. And I oop. Oh, we're over here. I'm gonna come from this way. Come on, give me a dungeon. Give me a dungeon with big, chunky enemies. Chunky enemies surrounded by infinitely spawning little guys. I want a dungeon like that. Like, give me boss enemies with a bunch of mobs to build elemental energy. That's my ideal combat encounter to test out people. But those don't exist in this, as far as I can tell. At least not the infinitely respawning little guys. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Is this the entrance? We sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here.
We kind of took a
Should
weird
be.
way.
I don't think they have enough manpower left to post guards and defend their perimeters.
Any more? It's your hiding place. Bygone glories past? What does it want me to have? Dendro, Electro, and Fire. A? Why Electro?
Stay close and you will live.
Alright. I don't mind having Nihida just in case we run into a person in there to mind read.
Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
That's what's going on. It's not a new model. It's the dude in the background's got the same goatee. I've seen that hairstyle on a different person as well. Just they mix and match. I fought through many situations like this before.
Yeah, we'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but their name means nothing now.
I guess you could call them relics.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here. I'll take the lead. I've been here once before.
We got NPCs? Oh, we don't need them.
There is no escape.
Alright, Raiden, help get some energy here.
Buckle up.
I'll be back.
Shine down. Look alive.
Pulverize. How regret.
Seriously, come on, give me. Okay. Alright, let's see how this looks.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Everybody stand back.
Everyone hold hands.
Things are about to get dicey.
Gloves off.
Lucky today.
Illusion shattered.
Some more guys? What's going on?
Buckle up.
Now, Raiden's able to make her recharge her burst much quicker.
Hey, I'm going in. Let's light it up.
This
I'll
way,
be
follow
back.
me. We're almost there.
Dia really sucks, though. Because again, her burst doesn't synergize with Yelan or Xingqiu. Her normal attacks can be fire-based.
Ahead without checking for any traps.
They've never played D&D before. If I set down Bennett's fire ring, her attacks do become fire element. So I could throw down Bennett's burst, do Yelan's burst, and then just normal attack with Dia. See what happens.
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
Guess we gotta go on without you.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this, seems we'll have to fight our way through.
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. There could still be another way through. Let's go! We can't let the boss down!
Let's check if there's another way. The sooner we can make it through to help them, the better.
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by something. Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Okay, let's go!
Okay. Adjust the height and color of the light so it may be properly received. Okay. Change it to yellow and raise it. Ooh, puzzles. She's got a burst. Okay, okay.
Everyone hold hands!
Busted.
Okay, everybody's got their burst except for Dia here, which she might get from just...
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
Okay, so let's rotate this. Rotate! Wait, well, changing... Oh, I see. I got it, I got it, I got it. I got it, I got it, I got it. I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. Didn't realize there was, 2 on there. Hello? Oh, hey. Hey, guys.
Take it easy.
Okay, I want to see how this works. Give me a sec. Just give me a sec to think. Okay, this...
Teamwork is
this...
Game's up. Fun's over.
You asked for it.
Didn't mean to use a burst. I can't believe she doesn't get any energy particles during her burst. That's crazy. Raiden Shogun does. Why not her?
Quietly now.
I just want to test out some damage.
Busted.
Okay, so
There is
get that
no
up,
escape.
get that down,
Stand back.
get that up.
About to get dicey.
Ugh, boy, it takes a lot of effort to make her do anything. I'm trying my best to make her do damage. Okay, let's see here. This one we gotta do first.
Off we go.
Whoops. Interesting puzzles, not very hard to figure out. Give us a real chunky monkey.
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side.
Like this guy, maybe.
But as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run? Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already.
Nice voice.
I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin. Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing. The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory?
Can handle the blaze.
Let us draw our weapons! We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers. They are but two, while we hold within ourselves the entirety of the relic's glory.
Send him out.
Wave 1, charge! Eliminate them!
Okay.
Teamwork is dreamwork! Gotcha.
You don't think that you've won. We're just getting started.
Okay. Now we got something.
I'm going in!
That.
Illusion
That.
shattered! Here comes the catch.
That.
Look alive!
King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers.
We'll meet again.
Shine down!
Brothers! With me, this is where we'll prove our faith.
Do you all just want to die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive! Pound it to the ground!
You're dead meat! Where do you think you're going?
Things are about to get dicey.
I'm going in! Look alive!
Goodbye. But we'll meet again.
The commander has finally fallen.
Yikes. It takes so much effort for her to do anything. It's like having a crutch. Or no, she's not a crutch. She creates the need for a crutch. It's like having a handicap. That's what it is.
But they're still coming at us! This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming no matter how many we beat!
I'm fine with that.
Yes, keep fighting! There's no need to fear, and no need to back down! This is our last stand!
Somebody from behind. Whoa!
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks. I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Get out of my way!
Come and face me, Michel! Ugh, so they've broken through the front as well.
Apologies, Lord Michal. They fight like absolute madmen. No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more.
By the way, do you have the red fang sword? You mean the one that Dia was using? She's a trial character more or less in this mission. I don't actually have Dia. So they probably gave her a good sword to make her do even more damage, but it's still not great. She performs poorly.
So, it would seem like this is the end.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Michel.
You think I would give you that opportunity? I will be buried in the sand alongside all the rest of our fading glory.
Hey, wait!
What?
We were Too late.
Would he bite his tongue off?
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating as well.
Hey, Dia! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Hey, right after I grabbed that chest.
Let's go.
I'm sure the damage I was doing with Dia after, like, having 3 characters buff her... Oh, look at her. She's taking damage. That's fun. Why was that happening? Is that due to her thing? This thing?
Get it on!
Does it, like, go away and then cause tick damage?
Buckle up!
Let's see what sword she has, actually. Beacon of the Reed Sea. Yeah, I think this is the weapon that's, best for her. Artifacts. Burst damage. Using a burst increases all parties' attack by 20%. So they wanted her burst to do damage. And yet that was the least impressive thing I could do with her. The most impressive thing was throwing down Bennett's burst, making her attacks fire element, having Raiden's little shockwave that goes along with it, and then Yelan's burst that made little water things shoot out and vaporize with her normal attacks. That was the best kind of damage I could do. And then also Nahida's thing that did dendro damage as well, but it took way too much. Yikes. I don't think Red Fang Sword is a thing in this game. Is that a reference to like an anime? Or is that actually a sword in this game? I'm not familiar with all the gacha swords.
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
Street rat!
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics, and you still can't even tell who's made it all the way to your headquarters?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side instead. How are we supposed to figure out what you're after?
You need to go, dude.
Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusela? Why would I know? It's not like I'm in charge or anything.
This is your last chance to talk.
Hey, I said I don't know anything. I'm just an average member here. I'm telling the truth. If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name and face with so many people coming in and out every day?
The irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to others, it wasn't even worth remembering. Where's the records room? Answer me!
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want. It's not like any of them still matter anyway.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? You mean the one that got burned down? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. The guy who could hardly walk. Watch your mouth. That's our boss you're talking about. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a fire in the records room. He couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud.
Talk about taking a dump? I guess he's like, I need to use the little boy's room, and he just like sprinted to the records room, committed arson, and ran away.
And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disarray.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you.
Some red greatsword that looks ballin' for DA, even though it's not in her recommended. Red Horn or Wolf's Gravestone? I think it's Wolf's Gravestone. Yeah, give me a sec. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the one that is good for Diluc. Give me a sec. This image is a little crusty, but is it this one you're talking about? This sword? What's her recommended weapons? Beacon of the Red Sea. Wolf's Gravestone is her second recommended. That's probably it. I mean, God, you could... It's hard to polish a turd, right? Not to speak ill of, Dia, but goddamn. She really is bad. She needs a buff. If she's to be considered a 5-star at least, because... right now, she's terrible. Getting more of a bead on what she can do in battle, it takes so much effort for her to do anything. Even as like sub DPS, like she creates kind of a coordinated attack, kind of like Raiden Shogun's elemental skill, but it's not as good. It's like fire based, but it's nothing really great.
There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever survive that kind of inferno.
It doesn't last nearly as long as Raiden's either.
Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard these guys.
What was the red horn you're talking about? Let's see here. Red horn. I'm just curious to what this thing is. Oh, interesting. Ito's weapon. Yeah, that looks like it fits her perfectly well. It's got black, red, and gold. All of her colors. Yeah, I could see that. Buff Dia, buff Dia, buff Dia. And she got added to the normal draw. I could technically get Dia when drawing with normal wishes right now. Yep. Technically. I've gotten everybody else except for Kuching, I believe. I'll need to check.
Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
Sure, I'll give you a Chi-Chi for it.
No!
No! We're gonna go to the records room. Let me just, her max HP is 43,000. God damn, her HP is higher than my Zhongli. Of course, I didn't build entirely into his HP.
Osmanthus wine.
Dude, bro. What's her, I was wondering what her idols were. You gonna do the other one? Oh right, she does her makeup. Damn it. One more time. Like she pulls out a little compact mirror and starts doing her eyeliner. I forgot what button was zoom in and I accidentally switched a minute. I won't hold you back from looking at a pretty lady doing her makeup. Oh. Yeah. Gotta look fabulous. Did she just make a smooch at the little mirror? I think she did.
My people are used to the desert life, but still, I hope that one day they'll be able to find an oasis of their own and leave the sandstorms behind for a better life.
All right, while I'm here, let's get some extra lore that people don't normally get.
one of them. I've already told you everything I know. Can't you just leave me alone?
Lore that only Nahida can get.
Crazy. Every last one of them.
Surprised this dungeon's still going on and it's not just a cutscene of us walking into the room. Hold up.
Everyone hold hands.
Okay, he's dead. He's dead or he's an unnamed character. How tall is Yelan? Alright, so we got her with her fake cat ears, right? Did I say how tall is Yelan? How tall is Dia compared to Yelan? I think Dia is about the same height. Raiden Shogun? About the same height. That means, yeah. Definitely Zhongli is taller.
So, this was his final destination.
I'm just doing all this side-by-side comparison and looking at stuff while I can because I don't have her. So this is the only chance.
How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire? If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
Tia.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around. Maybe we can find something that's been left behind.
Everyone searches around the room.
Is this a cane? It must be the one that Dia's father used.
I guess he didn't need it anymore.
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh? Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dia has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dia, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dia, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad.
Oh, you better not skip. The whole story was shared with the Core of 30, which finally joined the investigation in the name of restoring order. Members of Deshret's relics were brought to justice, and it skipped.
What's this?
I hate it. What the fuck were they thinking? What actually were they thinking? Let's put a gigantic paragraph that's locked behind an auto scroll, like auto. We got you some snacks and drinks. All on Paimon's tab.
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money. And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say. These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy.
She rarely spends her allowance on other people. It's really my treat, but you get the point.
Hey, this way you get something from the both of us for the price of one. Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure once you've gotten something in your tummy. Junior Azad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw, thanks you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say. My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures. But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace, and I was left feeling more empty than ever before. It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me.
Everything just happened so fast.
Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all.
Well, I was gonna offer you a couple million more just for the fuck of it, but I guess if you don't want it, then that's fine, I guess.
Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different?
At least you don't have an entire paragraph cut off because the characters are moving and they don't want to scroll text. As long as it's voice acted, I don't like text up on screen that I have to read out loud. I guess it's a streamer's dilemma, right? I might have been able to read all that had I not been reading it out loud. Maybe. That's not even a guarantee. I'm not that fast of a reader, I don't think, but what if somebody's a slow reader? You're just, fuck them. It's a loading screen. Why not let them just press A to go past the black screen? It's so fucking bonkers. And it happens all the fucking time. I guess not enough people care about the lore and the story enough to complain enough for them to care. Honkai only has improper Chinese VA. So it's just subtitles, and you have to read while stuff is going on. That kind of reminds me when I was playing, I guess any game that has, like, a foreign language and subtitles only. But specifically, I played Pirate Warriors, which is the One Piece Dynasty Warriors game. Or games. And they speak in Japanese, and the text is at the bottom of the screen for you to read, but you're playing a fucking Muso game, so obviously it's going to be hard to actually read what they're saying while doing all the fighting. So it's a little... I understand that. I feel that. I also didn't realize that Honkai wasn't translated with English VAs. It's weird.
Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, I still went to such lengths to find out the truth, and nearly even shed tears for his sake.
You don't want to make your makeup run, babe.
We're hypocrites. All of us.
You should never question your true feelings, though.
Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
You're back! Are all of you alright?
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All I can do now is wait for their verdict. Huh? Dia, you're looking quite down again.
I'm sure that the people who took down Deshret's relics will probably get a lighter sentence than the rest of them.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
Once Paimon finishes telling the story, Dunyuzub begins to cry.
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better. I just...
I didn't have a chance. I really didn't have a chance to fucking read it all.
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
But Dia, your pain must be even worse. You shouldn't need to comfort me.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life? However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. This impulse brought me great turmoil, and even made me feel ashamed for turning my back on your father's kindness. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am, and I will never be able to lead a peaceful existence.
I understand how you feel.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play. Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about stopping by the Grand Bazaar again?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along too.
It's always more fun when everyone's together.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
Staying as far away as I can just in case I can read somebody's mind. Nope.
Oh, this rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship is exquisite, and the fabric is also of high quality.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
You sound drunk.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who bit his tongue? You can still talk?
Ah,
Wait, are you here to take revenge on us?
good luck.
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all in a fight? I just came here to give you something. I'll be on my way to give myself up to the Corps after this. Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Akhmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence. But when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to last for much longer. I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same. One of the injured members gave this box to me, and told me that it contained some of the old man's last possessions. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get this to you before the Corps could get their hands on it.
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
So this box contains everything that Dia's father left behind. Huh. It feels lighter than expected.
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any Mora was spend it on things like drinks and meat. But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk. It kinda stinks.
Perhaps it's just been left unopened for too long.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already yellowed, and it looks like it's about to fall apart. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use.
What?
If he was going to break that rule, he could have at least copied something useful.
Wait, what? The Academia didn't let people have books? Outside the library? Like you couldn't have a fucking storybook? What kind of fucking lore is that? Why is... Ugh! they were basically like Nazis. Yeah, you can't have books unless you come to us. You can only read the books that we let you. Storybooks, illegal.
That probably means this was really important to him.
Yeah, keeping this book was a fucking illegal act.
And here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely deteriorated. Maybe that's where the smell was coming from.
Time to ban Dr. Seuss.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, he always ate more than I ever did. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Isn't that just common sense? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wooden toy puppet, a wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip? Why are these things here?
I thought you said this box was light. It sounds like it would be like 20 pounds.
I'm suddenly feeling a little scared.
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box as some kind of personal trash heap and dumped any and everything in there. 2 empty liquor bottles. Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
Probably not. What an interesting man.
Huh? There's something in the bottle!
I guess it's not empty.
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though. If I end up forgetting about it, it won't really matter. To Dia. It's a letter for me?
I thought that was a letter. I was like, yeah. I wrote a letter and put it in this bottle. And that's it. You don't need to read it out loud.
It's all right. I'll just read it out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been some important things that he wanted to say. Or at least record down.
How about I skip through all of your dialogue? See how the game likes me skipping through people reading something out loud.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone. You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group. But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably Idrisi's fault. He was never up to any good.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at himself.
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth.
She does a pretty good impression of her dad.
The reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
Excuse?
Wait, what?
Surely, he must be joking, right?
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day, and discovered a baby in the sands. It was you. You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of energy.
Sounds like he's serious.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father. At this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle. Anyway, Dia, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's the end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child.
But isn't that also a good thing?
I suppose, or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
Yeah. It's just a pity that we had to learn the truth of everything like this.
Do you already have some ideas about the decision that he wanted you to make?
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand at finding the person who abandoned me.
I was gonna say, is her part 2 gonna be finding her previous parents?
I just have one wish. To tell them a story. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold. And that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to find some information for you.
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
I also don't want to see his efforts go to waste. I don't want you to stop going forward.
I'll help too.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you so much. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but I've always considered myself lucky. Because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
Lion's blood. Yeah, who was the lion's father?
Hey.
So that's Dia's quest. Cool. Yeah, they're teasing, I guess, whatever her part 2 is going to be, which is, I guess, finding her blood relatives that abandoned her in the desert. I'll be taking those for free, sir.
Take it easy.
Kind of makes me want to know stuff about, I don't know, Bennett. Because he is like a cursed child. And not like the wizard boy, but yeah, he's got horrible, like, ill-fated god unluckiness. And it has something to do with his blood. It's got to be. I'd like to know more about Bennett's backstory. Like, why the fuck is he so unlucky? But he's a 4-star. I don't know if he'll ever get a that sort of treatment. You know what? It'll probably be during a fucking event. Kind of like Mona and Fischl's backstories. It'll be a timed event. So this party that I put together made Dia seem okay, but not good.
Chivalry will never die.
Chivalry will never die. There we go.
A walk would be nice.
Wait, Hyperbloom. That's supposed to be Nahida. Whoops.
There are still so many places for us to explore.
Wait, that's not Hyperbloom. Wait, what was this party again? Oh, yes, that's what it was. Doo, doo, doo.
Stay close and you will live.
That's what it was. I actually want to give something a shot. I'm probably going to stop here. And the next time I play this, I'll be doing Jet's world quest. Oof. Ah, the sun's in my eyes. There we go. Just want to get some energy real quick. These?
Busted. Gotcha. Busted.
Come on, give me the energy. Ow. Seriously? Is there not one more enemy around here? They just ran into me. Yo, what is this, like a desert or something? I just need some energy.
Quietly now.
That'll do. Those poor things, they had nothing to do. Someone give Bennett a blood transfusion to get the bad luck out of him. Yeah, I wonder. He's got to be cursed. It's gotta be like a family curse that he has nothing to do with. Alright, so let's see here. Okay.
Illusion
Everyone hold hands. Make yourselves a room.
Let me weave you a verse. Huh? Game's up. Fun's over. Gotcha.
shine down. Inazuma shines eternal.
Yeah. Took some damage because this is just all about doing damage. No shields or anything like that. Yeah, Xingqiu's pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there. And yeah, next time is gonna be Jet's World Quest, and what else was there to do? There's the Pokemon event, the fungus Mechanicus, more mushroom Pokemon. But I'm gonna stop for tonight. This is fun. That story went a little longer, maybe because I took my time with it. I probably could have done that in like an hour 45, but we're just taking our time enjoying it, seeing what Dia's all about, and realizing she really needs a buff for a 5-star character. Yeah, more of this, and also this Sunday, we're going to be doing more Human Fall Flat. Me, Shoji, Hyatt, and Urk going to be doing that. That game's really fun and silly. I downloaded a few maps, so even after the official ones, we got some downloadable Steam Workshop maps that'll be fun to do. Other than that, let's see. There was something else. I got Loop Hero recently. I might do that on stream. I want to kind of check it out for the first time on stream, and then if it seems like sort of a just chill and do this off stream, I want to see if it's just something I can do off stream or if it's something I want to do on stream, kind of like Slay the Spire, something like that. But anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope you had fun, and we'll do more of this soon. Bye bye.